The world has always been fascinated by aliens, with many claiming that we've been visited repeatedly by extraterrestrials in the past. These encounters continue to be reported all over the world. With so many people equipped with video cameras on their gadgets, amateur ET video is a growing trend. Many organizations, like the Mutual UFO Network, or MUFON, MUFON, regularly track and investigate these sightings with the aim of solving this mystery once and for all. Combing through their recent articles, we decided on our top 5 alien ships caught on camera and spotted in real life. Let's begin. Number 5. Gosport, UK. This account comes out of Gosport in the UK in January 2017. A man captured what looks unmistakably like a UFO one night when he stepped out to take the trash out. He immediately noticed 3 lights in the shape of a triangle. These hovering dots seem to change colors and intensify throughout the entire video. Furthermore, they move erratically across the sky in a haphazard manner a number of times before gradually reforming the triangle again. The entire clip is 4 minutes and 23 seconds long, and the man who captured the footage actually did a pretty good job of getting a clear shot. A few times during the video, one or more of the lights disappear or move behind another, only to reappear and rejoin their original formation. Eventually, one disappears behind the roof of the houses on the other side of his street. The other 2 remain alit for another while before a second drops out of view. The third light, instead of dropping below the houses, simply seems to blink itself out of existence. There's actually a lot of information given, which suggests that this guy knew what he was doing. He recorded his postal code as a reference point, estimated the dots to be hovering at a 30-degree angle, and also gives their direction. He is unable, unfortunately, to accurately guess how high they were or how far away, which hinders determining how large they were, but they do seem like they were pretty magnificent. The man went on to say that the area below the UFOs is all farmland and fields. There is no military facility or airport located in the area, and there are no structures that could be mistaken for extraterrestrial craft. Even if there were aircraft known to fly nearby, this array could not possibly have come from a conventional airplane. The way it hovers with 3 points of light moving randomly, it represents something we've never seen before. Number 4. Tallahassee, United States. Charla Dare Brady of Tallahassee caught a strange light hanging over her backyard on June 17th. She and her husband had risen earlier than usual to embark on a fishing trip, and she was sitting on her porch at 4 AM when the light appeared. While she stared at it, confused about its origin, she said that it started getting larger and larger, like it was coming towards her at incredibly high speeds. She then panicked for a bit before pulling out her phone and getting the entire scene on video. It seems that when she began recording, the lights became much more animated. They began to rapidly change a multitude of different colors and moved in increasingly random ways. The entire time, it seemed to be getting closer and closer. Indeed, the light begins as a fairly dim speck in the distance and slowly increases during the length of the footage. Although it was not shown in the video because Charla said she had stopped filming at that point, the light thrashed an incredibly bright white and seemed to show a green triangle floating motionless where the light had once been. After a few seconds, this triangle zipped out of sight. Her husband missed this entire scene and said that he was initially extremely skeptical and insisted that her mind was playing tricks on her. He figured that if it had been so impressive, then he would have seen it. At this point, she showed him the footage she'd captured on her phone. With this, he instantly became a believer, saying he had seen nothing like it before and that there was nothing in the area that could have produced such a weird light. The couple has since asked friends to help them get to the bottom of this mystery and say that it couldn't possibly have been any known type of drone or airplane. The movements were far too erratic and were unlike any human flying machine. When nobody was able to identify the object, she sent footage to a local television station, WTXL. They initially uploaded the wrong video, but Charla resent her footage, which was properly posted soon after. After many people doubted her assumption upon seeing the wrong footage, many viewers rapidly changed their minds upon being presented with the correct video taken that morning. Number 3. Eungella, Australia. During an early morning family outing in Eungella, not too far from the northwest coast of Queensland, Australia on March of 2017, a man was with his wife and son when his son pointed towards the sky and asked his parent if the moon was still out. The family were out fairly early at 6:30 a.m. so he figured his son might be correct. He looked up and saw, about 500 meters up, a very strange, round object making its way across the sky in what appeared to be an unerring straight line. It was also moving incredibly fast, which made keeping the camera on the craft a difficult exercise. Given the circumstances, we think he did a pretty good job all around, although it is a bit jumpy. He immediately noticed that the direction of the prevailing winds was blowing in the exact same direction that the object was moving. His wife suggested that it was potentially a glider, but after peering a little longer, they couldn't make out any person maneuvering the craft. He also said that it was much larger than any glider he knew about, measuring what he estimated to be at least 10 to 20 feet in length. Furthermore, the cylindrical features of the craft seemed unlike anything humans have developed. Given the dimensions he is given, this craft doesn't seem likely to be aerodynamic or have any likelihood of staying afloat according to any currently known modern methods. Eungella is a little off the coast and filled with lush, dense rainforest. This environment doesn't lend itself to aircraft, with absolutely nowhere safe to land there or close by. Since his view was eventually obstructed by trees and vegetation, he wasn't able to get the best shot, and the footage was taken on a tablet, which makes the craft difficult to see. For much of the video, it's very difficult to spot, but the times it comes into view do show a UFO much like the one described by the witnesses. When the video clip was tested and analyzed, it was found to be completely genuine. A representative for MUFON Australia has recorded this sighting as remaining unknown, pending further evidence. Number 2. Lower Austria. This footage is very much like that seen in Gosport in Item 5, and both were filmed only 5 days apart in very different parts of the world. That's an incredible coincidence, and there must be something in it. The Gosport lights moved around a little less than the Austrian lights, but both showed clear triangle patterns. The Austrian lights also seemed to spread out over a much larger area, but this doesn't carry much weight as they could have just been closer to the camera. These lights also moved in a very deliberate, albeit slow-moving circle. The guys who sent in the video were friends heading back to the driver's home for the night and had been driving in silence before the lights were seen by the man behind the wheel. They were basically in the middle of nowhere in what's usually a very sleepy section of road. Considering how many UFO sightings are made by individuals, it must have been nice to have immediate support and confirmation from close friends. Bolstered by this fact, the group stopped the car and got out to investigate. They say that the area was almost completely quiet. The hum of insects can be heard, which makes it difficult for us to notice, but they say that there's usually more noise and that the eerie silence was unusual. The lights themselves made absolutely no noise, although the men say that they seem to be incredibly close by. They were blocked from getting any closer by a fence along the side of the field, but still managed to capture around 40 seconds of very clear video considering it was taken with a phone. The witnesses have apologized for not having further evidence, but say that only one phone was able to take a video and was almost out of space anyway. The lights continued for about the same length as the sighting in the UK, even though the video is much shorter. The lights in Austria continued for another 3 to 4 minutes before popping out of existence one by one. Number 1. South American Picnic. 3 sightings within days of each other in late 2015 and early 2016 caused a wild panic in South America in early 2016. The sightings took place across the span of a week or so in Chile, Bolivia, and Brazil. Each of these sightings seem to involve different craft, which adds a little doubt as to the authenticity of the videos, but experts haven't been able to find any sign that the footage has been manipulated in any way. The first sighting took place in El Alto in Bolivia. Witnesses captured the UFO on tape, with many further eyewitness accounts given reported over the next week. The object seemed to be enormous and cylindrical. Many initially claimed that this video was a hoax, citing the constant zooming in and out as a way to confuse any viewers. The general consensus was that the uploader was simply looking to increase web traffic by purporting a hoax. What happened over the next few days cast a lot of doubt on these accusations and seemed to bolster the evidence that this was, in fact, a real ET craft. Days after the Bolivian sighting, mysterious lights were seen above Santiago, the capital of Chile. Looking like a fleet of long, narrow craft dotted with lights across their length, they shone with a bright orange glow. The girl who captured the footage can be heard losing her mind in the background, and we have to admit that we'd probably feel the same. Even though there seems to be a lot of fog or cloud cover obscuring the objects, they are most definitely hard to miss and are obviously real. Some have claimed that this is probably a military or police exercise, and the lights are probably those of helicopters. If this was the case, we would assume that the government would speak up and help to ease people's fears. They have so far denied any involvement. Our final shot is actually a picture and not a video, but looks unmistakably like a UFO. The witness claims to have been at her son's football game when she took the picture, only to notice the object later on. If this sighting hadn't taken place only days after the other two, it probably wouldn't have garnered any attention. But the large number of confirmed sightings, reported by hundreds of people at the very least, meant that this one was taken very seriously. Do you think something weird was going down in South America in 2016? We're not sure, but we hope that the world keeps their cameras pointed at the sky, just in case. And there, you have 5 alien ships caught on camera and spotted in real life. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like and share it, and if you haven't already, subscribe down below to get notified every single day with new videos from Top 5's finest. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, we are out.